Death hurts. No matter how hard we try to prepare for it, expect it, rationalize it, when it comes to the people we love, it tears us apart anyway. We fight to delay it, to deny it, fight not to think about it at all. And when someone dies, it's like a part of us dies too. They were there, and now they're gone, and something that was supposed to continue just didn't. And their place is less than nothing. It's a void, a gap where someone should be, along with the piece of ourselves that went with them. Maybe that's why we call it a loss. Today we're going to explore why we hate death so deeply, why it hurts so badly. We're going to look at a video game that masterfully portrays mortality, loss, and grief. Its story reveals not just that death wounds us, but that we experience it as something profoundly wrong, and what we try to do about it. And by tracing out these themes, we may begin to see where death is ultimately pointing us. The city of Lumiere is well acquainted with loss. Every year, the paintress writes a number in the sky. Every year, everyone that age vanishes into a cloud of petals and ash. Every year, brave heroes set sail to somehow, some way put an end to this before it's too late. And every year, they're never heard from again. There never seems to be quite enough time before the end. When faced with loss, most of the time, the phrase in our heads, too soon. The people of Lumiere, like us, recognize something. Whether the number in the sky is 93 or 33, we feel violated when life is cut short. It's abrupt, grating, somehow both expected and unpleasantly surprising. We see the citizens handle despair differently. Some try to have peace, others refuse to let go. Some join the expedition seeking a solution, or support the mission with research and supplies. Others mock even trying to stop the gommage. But regardless of the approach, it can't be denied that everyone is hurt. They wouldn't have to cope, to scheme, to solve if things were all right. For Lumiere, the expeditions are Hail Mary attempts against an impossible foe. Even though every effort has been in vain, the heroes venture out anyway, solemnly reciting their motto, for the ones who come after. The hope is that if they could push the line just a little further, get a little closer, maybe the next expedition could be victorious. The struggle for freedom from death is ingrained in our souls. For man, the final victory over this foe is worth any cost. And so, we fight. Animals survive, resisting death on instinct when it leaps upon them. Mankind wages war against it. We strike preemptively with safety, with medicine, with infrastructure geared toward the single-minded purpose of the preservation and flourishing of life. We build hospitals, study diseases, invent safer equipment, and build better cities. In a sense, our history is one long war against death itself. Yet thousands of years of our best efforts have come up empty. We're left with the craving for life that doesn't end, and the agony that it's always cut short. The family at the heart of the story gives us a direct line of sight to the effects of death on our relationships. Their grief is the literal source of an entire world of sorrow. The entire realm is a physical manifestation of the family's very human reluctance to let go of the ones we've lost. The paintress Aline, a mother clinging desperately to the last piece of her lost son. Renoir, the father, struggling to help his family move on while dealing with his own grief. Alicia, the sister bearing the burn scars and the shame, a constant reminder of the devastation and her role to play in it. The building itself, silently expressing that the Desandras can try to repair the house, but the home is still broken. So, what can we glean about humanity and our relationship with death from this story? First, that death comes for us all, inescapable, unrelenting, terrible death. It pursues, it torments, and it eventually overtakes all mankind. Second, that death should be opposed as an enemy. It is worth fleeing and fighting with everything we have. And third, that death is a corruption of the natural order, as validated by our instinctive hatred towards it. But how can death be both inevitable and untimely? Why does this natural event feel so unnatural? Why do we resist it so violently, so desperately? At the core of this anguish is a spiritual reality. We hate death because we were made for life. There was an original design for man, and death was not part of the picture. In the beginning, there was only love and life and joy. Relationships untainted by evil, unsevered by loss. We walked with God, and He walked with us. Then, death came into the world. When our first parents broke fellowship with God by violating His command, the future of humanity was cast into deep darkness. Death erupted onto the scene through their rebellion, just as God had warned them. This condition has spread like the worst virus from generation to generation. We have all been infected by it. But death is more than a disease. He's a dictator. Death is an intruder, and we let him in the front door. He is a usurper, an oppressor, a cruel and unopposed tyrant. Or, I should say, was. You see, God didn't leave us to figure out this problem on our own. When we could not restore what we had lost, Jesus came to restore us. When He died, it looked like death had won once again. But when He rose 3 days later, He proved that the love of God is stronger than death itself. In our battle against the grave, Christ is our champion. He dealt death a fatal blow, and someday soon He will finish the job. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be any mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things will pass away. And He who is seated on the throne says, Behold, I'm making all things new. Expedition 33 is a heart-wrenching, epic portrayal of mankind's greatest foe. We hate death because we were designed for life. Every loss is a reminder that things are still not quite the way they should be. But by the grace of God, death no longer gets the final word. Christ's monumental victory changes everything. In the words of George Herbert, death used to be an executioner, but the gospel has made him just a gardener. I'm Michael with Veil Shred Studios. Thanks for watching.